Hi, everyone. Today, I will want to talk to you about the contrast and the staying power. And this is one of the most important things in your growth to understand this. So I really hope you stay with me here. It's not going to be a long video, but please listen carefully. So what do I mean by contrast? When you want to grow somewhere big, you want to do something that requires a change. Okay, you want to change something, and the change requires your different beliefs, habits, actions, behaviors, and things like that, right? So you want to change something, and you have this big vision, maybe big dreams, big goals. You decided there's enough pain or maybe plenty of pleasure, because usually that's why we decide to change something, right? There's a lot of pain that is pushing us out, or there's pleasure that is pulling us forward, right? So let's say you decided to change. What happens when you make a decision, which is, by the way, the most important thing to make a decision, you probably heard it before, deciding is 50% of success. When you make the decision to change, the first thing that happens right after will be the contrast. It doesn't always happen, but most of the time it does happen. And the contrast is, accordingly to the law of opposites, is basically the first thing that happens is the opposite of what you want. So I'll explain in a minute. And the reason why it happens is that the universe, the source, the life, your system of beliefs, whatever, is testing you whether you really want to proceed. Do you have the guts and the balls to proceed? Will you walk the talk? Will you go for it, right? It's just like a test. Are you really serious about it? Are you going to do it? That's one. And second thing is that imagine when you want to change, I don't know if you've seen this like little photo, but it shows like you're here in the comfort zone and the magic happens there, right? Outside. So imagine you want to get somewhere where when you get closer to the comfort zone, your sabotage comes up very, very rapidly. So whether you believe in the universe or not, you just believe in your own brain and in the science, and just know that your self-sabotage, your system will do anything to get you stay put in the old behavior, in the old thing, right? So that's really why it happens. So to give you an example, very easy example, you want to go on a diet. Okay, you decide you go on a diet. You get to work, you get to the office, and you discover that someone has birthday and they brought the best freaking cake, that you love this cake. It's either the caramel something salty cake, or maybe it's amazing ice cream or whatnot, whatever you love, they brought it. Okay, and you go like, yeah, I mean, okay, just today, I mean, such an occasion, right? So what do? You eat the cake. And what happens next day? Do you go on diet? No, you don't, because you just lost the momentum. Does it make sense? You had the momentum, you got into contrast, you lost. You will wait until the next time when you have the enough pain or something to pull you, that you will be able to make the change again. Okay, so another example from life is, maybe you're in a relationship that doesn't give you joy anymore, and you master courage, and finally you go like, okay, enough is enough. The right thing to do is to break up. And you know it, like, in your body, it's the right thing to do. You need to break up. It's the honest thing to do. You know that the other person also will be kind of relieved to break up, even though you love each other, okay? Because there's always love, right? But we know when we are too long in a relationship, okay? And raise your hand if you've been too long in a relationship before, right? And remember what happened and why did you prolong it, right? Like, what was in your head? You were always probably saying to yourself, it will get better. You remember the great times. You were hoping for this to come back, and eventually it didn't work. But what happens? Possibly you decided you want to break up, and you get home from work, and your partner just had a change of heart, and they made this beautiful dinner with candles, and they look amazing, maybe sexy, and for a minute you go like, oh, I see some nice energy here. So you basically feel like, yeah, you don't really want to mess up with this, right? Like, there's so much nice energy now. So you just forget about it and you say, okay, it's not the right moment. What happens? you stay in a relationship for another 8, 9, 10 months, 12 months, whatever. Make sense? So the contrast is there to really kind of test you. Do you really want it? But also test your courage and your staying power. And that's why I also want to talk about the staying power. Staying power is when you realize that you are in the contrasting behavior and you feel the fear about it, but you're not stepping out of it. You are going for it. You are consistent with your decision. You are trusting yourself. You made a decision and you're going to execute on that decision. And you don't doubt yourself and you don't let your saboteurs doubt whether it's, and worry and doubt and overthink again, because you made your decision and you made it in the right, from your heart, and now it's time to execute it, right? So you don't kind of chicken out. This is called staying power. And I give you a very personal example that I just went through a massive contrast, okay? I went to a platinum trip with Tony Robbins. It's a platinum partnership trip, which, is kind of high ticket, right? This whole program is very high ticket. And I was in Canada, in Whistler, and it was really high vibration, and high level of breakthroughs and change. And I made some decisions there, about investing and the finance and all of it. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to create this much and I'm going to run this business like that. And I'm going to, whatnot, right? I had certain resolve to do certain things. And then, I got on a plane back home and I was flying in business. It was great. I slept. It was fantastic. And I also got into jet lag. I got home, I was tired, I was falling asleep, sitting down, almost like standing, I was falling asleep. And I got into massive contrast and massive fear. What I mean by contrast in this case, there was so much fear because I went into thinking about not enough, okay? Not enough cash flow, not enough outlook, not enough clients, not enough, I don't have the energy to go after it. I'm everything. It was like a spiral down. I'm not a great salesperson. I cannot expand my team, like everything, I have no cash flow to expand the team. I'm in this like chicken and egg, all of it. And I'm sharing openly and honestly because my clients share with me similar things as well. And I'm sure you may have similar doubts and worries. It's always kind of balancing growth, cash flow, how do I manage that? And it takes a lot of staying power in it and trusting yourself that you can deliver, right? And being in that personal power. And it's very, 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 very important. So what happened to me, it was 2 or 3 days, absolute freaking disaster. And it didn't have that I was tired. And I am quite conscious right now. So I actually saw myself, I observed myself having that state, being in that state. And I had glimpses of it in and out. I think I was talking about it one time that, it's not 50-50 that you feel a bit of fear or maybe a 50% of the fear. When fear comes, it's gonna consume you. It's gonna hijack all of you. And you may have glimpses of, oh my God, I think I'm hijacked. It's not going to be like 50-50, it may be very, very intense. And most of the people back off, they get scared, they don't know what's happening. So that's why I'm sharing that, because it's very, very normal that this happens. And if you can have staying power, and if you can go connect to your vision again, if you can give yourself love and compassion, if you can just hold yourself in it and be like, almost like talking to yourself to like you're human and go like, look, I get it. You're scared. I'm so sorry you're scared, but it's going to be fine. We're going to get through it, and finding evidence why this will work and tapping into, tapping, doing movement, going for a walk, breathing, helping yourself right through that. Now I'm out of it and I absolutely know that everything's going to be fantastic and great and all is well. And I'm safe and it's good, I'm well, I'm okay. And I see it very differently now and my energy shifted a lot, but I was in this contrast, right? So it is super, super important to be, first of all, aware of it, of this phenomena, and also to practice it and not back off. When you have a big vision and you have your dreams and you want to go after something, to really recognize when you get hijacked and maybe caught into something that doesn't really serve you. Okay. So this is it. Maybe it was a little bit longer than I expected, but I trust that this was really valuable for you. And by the way, if you need any help with this kind of work, this is exactly the module, one of the modules, only one of the modules in the brand new mastermind called Exponential Growth. The mastermind for bold CEOs who want to up level, and it's going to be freaking amazing. It starts in March. So if you want support, please come join us and I'll be happy to guide you through it. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.